Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back once again to the NOMEX Championship for another United States Grand Prix. But this time it's gonna be with Tier 2, so a different group of drivers. We're gonna see how well they do get on through with this session. We have a few drivers, I think, from Tier 1 here as well. So hopefully, gonna be quite an interesting one. We'll see how the opening lap is gonna go by the time we get it wrong. I'll maybe do a bit of a comparison back onto Tier 1, see what happened with that. We already got a few cars heading out on track, so we're gonna switch on over a bit and see what's happening in the meanwhile. Session looks to be a bit cloudy. I'm not sure. Maybe dry all the way through. We'll have a look. Quite sure someone will give us the information on what the weather is gonna be like throughout the qualifying session and possibly through the race session as well. Welcome to everyone currently joining us on stream. Thank you guys for joining on, and thanks very much to Commandment Coconut there for subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. Did just notice that on, so thanks to him for doing that. And please guys, don't forget to leave a like on the stream as you're on it. In the meanwhile, drivers usually do that during qualifying. Make good use of the time. And hello to X-Racer, thanks for joining on the Twitch side of the stream. And remember guys, the stream is live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time right about now, so you can watch from just about anywhere. Alright, so let's have a look, see what's going on track. In the meanwhile, I get everybody on their outlaps. Quite a busy track actually right about now. I'm just actually noticing what's happening here, because we got 18 drivers on for this session. Qualifying 1, we're already down to 15.5 minutes. A lot of time left in the session as yet, but we got a lot of cars out on track at the exact same time. Only 3 cars currently in, 4 cars in the pits at the moment. So that gives us at least 14 drivers out on the track all at the same time moving around. We can see the track map on the right hand side. Very, very busy at the moment there. So hopefully everyone is getting enough room to get on with their laps here. Let's see how well that's going. We got a Liverpool fan here at the moment, just getting started with his lap, getting through turn 1 and now into turn 2. So let's have a look on board, see if he's getting held up in any way. Doesn't seem like that's the case though, because I think he's getting through pretty well. Drivers are getting out of the way, just not to block someone else's quality lap. So seems to be good on that end so far. Does look kind of cloudy. Can someone get us the weather information for the qualifying session and for the race itself? Whoever's currently not in a car driving, supposedly for that one there, we'll just have a look and see what's happening there, because it does look a bit cloudy. It does seem like we might be having some sort of rain come around during this qualifying session. I'm not sure what the race session is going to be like, but for quali here it does look quite cloudy. That is actually going to be dropping the track temperature just a bit. That means drip level will be a bit on the decreasing side of things. Does tend to affect things that way as well, especially when it's cloudy. More to when it's just a bit more sunny on the side of that. So because it just does depend on track temperature, we do tend to work with that in the game, so it's gonna affect the grip level of the cars getting wrong here. So gotta see what's gonna happen. We should have some lap times come on in very, oh there we go. So we already got one in from Chuckle there at 132.5. Let's see how well that is going to hold up against the rest of the drivers who are currently on track trying to get their laps in. We got majority of the drivers currently on hot laps here, still on with Liverpool fan as he gets back onto that start finish straight. Good start fastest at 133.4, puts him down to 4th now as more and more lap times are starting to come on in. Paul with the fastest time so far, a 132.2. Chuckle goes up to 2nd, 132.5. Aki goes 3rd at 133.0. We got Coco there in the 133.4 down to 4th, and very close up with Liverpool at 133.436, just about 100th of a second off. So quite close with a lap time so far, looking pretty good. We'll see what's going to go on with that. Paulo there down to 6, 134.2. We got Tuna Building to 7, 134.27. That's about 300th of a second slower. Dan Richardson down to 8 at 136.8. Philip Marshall here about to get across the line in the Red Bull, goes up to 7th at 134.248. Literally 1,000th of a second separates him from Paulo there, who is currently in 6th. So getting a bit competitive already in qualifying 1. So going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen over in qualifying 2 and 3. We'll see how that works out. We got GFX here in the Haas and still working on his hot lap, getting through. One driver already out of the qualifying session. That's Alex there. So unfortunate for that. We still got 17 drivers to deal with this. So let's see how we're going to get on through. A lot of time still left, 12.5 minutes or just under that. Actually still left here. We got at least half of the grid with lap times in. And let's see Probably going to keep on board with the Haas, maybe just a bit, see what's happening with that. Do have Taylor Mckenzie down at the bottom here in the Williams. I think he's stuck in the pit lane for some reason. I'm not sure what's happening here. Highly doubt he can park this car here because that's going to result in a disqualification. I think he's just trying to get it back going there right now. Let's go on back to Markham here. He's got an invalidated lap. Unfortunately, we'll have to try that again. So an interesting first set of laps there, and that is the Williams. Looks like he's going to be out of the session. And that happened in the pit lane for some reason. I'm not even sure how that happened there. Bit of a tricky situation. So Alex out, Taylor Mckenzie out of qualifying 1 so far. We got Steph here in the Aston Martin getting around. He's on a hot lap at the moment, so trying to see where he's going to finish off with this. Super Stedia still back in the pits. Aiden Bell getting out on track on a hot lap at the moment. Going to have a look, see where he's at. Starting to see what's going on track here. Trying to have a look at Steph finishing off this lap. And let's see how fast he's actually gone. It doesn't look like it's going to be the fastest lap here. Might have had some trouble on it. It's a 135.6, put him up into 10. We're going to switch this on over to Aiden Bell here in the next Williams. His teammate not having the best of luck, already out of qualifying. And Aiden Bell just doing a purple sector 1. Let's have a look and see what the sector 2 time is going to be. I'm quite interested to see if he's able to pull off a purple sector 2 here or not. That might actually lead to a pretty good lap down that very long straight there, as we had a look at with these guys. Most of the guys from tier 1 from Monday. Very interesting long straight here that provides a lot of overtaking during the race itself. So we're going to see how that's going to work with the drivers as that session gets on through. Hopefully it's a dry race all the way through, or I'm not sure if you guys want to see a wet race. And that's him losing the entire car there. Trying to get back going there right about. I think that was someone driving the wrong way on track as well there. And there we go. So Markham disqualified from the session from going the wrong way on the track. That was a driver that we just saw from Aiden Bell's perspective. I don't know why he was driving that way. Maybe he got a bit confused with which direction he was supposed to go after the car spun around. But does tend to happen. So Aiden Bell will have to get another lap going. So as we have 3 drivers are currently out of the session. Tunable 133.8 did make it back to the pits. That's not going to count. It's going to push him down further down the grid, as Lucky might come out and get a lap later on. We'll see how that works out. We got Super C, but unfortunately invalidated his current lap, so we'll have to try this again. So we have quite a few invalidated laps going through the session, but a lot of lap times in, as GFX lad now fastest in the session so far, 131.8. Only a 10 down from that is Chuckle there with a 131.9. Paul down to third fastest on this session with a 131.990, just about 100th of a second faster, so not too far off. Liverpool up to fourth right now, 132.8. Aki down to fifth, 133.0, alongside Philip Marshall there in sixth at 133.0. 100 separates them as well. So very close with the lap times as we have it. Yeah, Commandment Coco down to 7th, 133.4. Pollock down to 8th, Steph down to 9th, Luna Strike down to 10th, and Richardson down to 11th, Aiden Bell down to 12th. We got Benjamin Carter still yet to get a lap in here. I'll have a look to see when he does get on out. Lucky here in the Mercedes on an out lap at the moment, so let's see when that's going to get started. Alright, I think he's getting through Sector 3 to about to get started on the lap there as well. Thank you very much to Wildflower for hosting our stream over on Twitch. Also guys, finally I have updated the stream schedule that Nightbots usually post out on the chat. So that's actually correct now. I'll have to keep updating that as we get on through, but usually just about 2 leagues we're dealing with at the moment, and 2 different tiers or divisions from them. So I think it's going to stick that way from now. Not really going to be doing too much of it. Alright, let's get on board with the Mercedes just a bit and have a look on how this is going there. Is he glitching around the place? I'm not sure. And a bit downhill right now. Very tight left-hander getting through. So as qualifying is going, we're down to just under 7.5 minutes. Has gone interestingly well. We had quite a busy track at the start of qualifying there. And I think it's kind of eased off as a bit right about now. Kind of a free track as getting on through. Majority of the drivers have their lap times in and are trying just to make it on over into qualifying 2. As it is, we got a 19th driver joined on to the session. So that's make us total of 19 to go over to the race itself. Hopefully we can have one more join before getting over with all the qualifying sessions. That'll give us a full grid, but 19 not too bad to work with. We'll see how that's going to work out. But so far so good with the qualifying times. We got 3 131s, a few 132s, 133s, 134s, and 135. So a bit we're just about a few seconds off on group by group there, but I think it's going to get a bit closer getting into Q2 and Q3. We'll see how that works out. As Lucky gets across the line, goes up into P5 now, 132.842, 300th of a second faster than what Liverpool did. And yep, quite impressive with the lap times and how close they're actually getting to other drivers here. Welcome to Wildflower in the Twitch chat as well. I'm trying to have a look. Did anyone give me any information on what's going on with the weather for the session? Let's have a look. Alright, everyone is back into the pits. Can someone check the weather and let me know what's going on with the weather for the qualifying session? I want to know if there's going to be any rain, especially for the race itself. It's starting to get sunny out back now, if you guys can notice. I just want to know if there's going to be any rain in the race itself. Alright, let's switch this back over to someone who's actually running a lap here. Sorry about that. Alright, so on with the Aston Martin here of Benjamin Cardiff. Haven't seen him race in a long time, or haven't just streamed in a league that he has been racing in. I think he just races in Tier 2 here, and we're now going to get on with that there as well. So once again, welcome to everyone currently joining on the stream, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Please guys, make sure if you're on YouTube, please make sure you do leave a like on the stream. I think you're able to do that on Facebook as well. And just make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Also make sure you follow us on Twitch. Link to all of this is in the description of this video. So if you're on one of the platforms, the link to the other ones should be in the video. If it's not, let me know. The last I remember, I did put it there. Alright, so what's going on here right about now? So about to finish up this lap. Let's see if he does get a lap time in. Didn't invalidate, so should be getting a good lap time in. Hopefully, let's see how fast he goes. Doesn't get the time in, or is he getting started on the lap right now? Oh no, he's getting started on the lap right now. I don't know if he invalidated the previous one or not, but we got quite a few drivers out in the session. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened with all of that. So we got Steph, Tunable, and Lucky all made lap times, but unfortunately, because they did not make it back into the pit lane and back into the garages, the lap time does not count. You gotta make it back to the garage, so the lap time is just becomes the same as if you just didn't make one. So it just pushes them down the order. We got Alex, Taylor, Mckenzie, and Markham, who did not make a lap time. Markham, of course, was disqualified for going the wrong way on track. He spun around the same time that Aiden Bell had a spin at that chicane, and he just kind of ended up going the wrong way. And thank you very much to Mr. GFX there for following us on Twitch. Do appreciate that very much. So we're going to keep on with the Aston Martin here right now. I want to see what the lap time is going to be, because I think he's the only one running a hot lap that we're quite interested in seeing. Luna Strike seems to be on a lap there as well. Currently 10th on the grid though, 135.0. It's not too bad of a position, because remember, qualifying, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure how many drivers are going to be going over to qualifying 2 at this point with what has happened in this session so far. So we're going to have to just wait on that and see how that is going to go. And GFX letting us know it's going to be all dry. Good to know that. Not too bad at all. So it's going to be a dry session all the way through. Might just be a bit of cloudiness coming on and off, maybe in qualifying, because we did have a bit of cloudiness down at the start. We'll see how that works out. So Benjamin up to 5th on the grid with a 132.3, about 5/10 faster than what Liverpool did. He pushes them down to 6th right now. We know a few drivers are going to get out possibly down at the end of the session, try to get a faster time in, especially those further down to the bottom of the grid there, 8 and below. Maybe we already get a Philip Marshall out on track. Let's have a look at where he's at the moment and see what's going on. Super C in the, I think he's in Alpine. He's getting on the lap going there as well. I think he might be just in front of this Red Bull. So we'll keep an eye on them and see how they're going on through. Oh, and thank you very much to Chuckle there for following us on Twitch as well. Just noticed that happened there. Okay, so let's see what's been going on. Did I miss anything with this here right about now? Oh, we got Commandment Coco following us on Twitch now as well. So quite a few new followers here on Twitch for this session. So not too bad with that. And we got a new subscriber as well. So all in all, going good so far. Alright, on board with the Red Bull. Let's see how this current lap is going as he's trying to get a better lap than a 133.0 here. Only about 100th of a second slower than what Aki has in 7th. So it's going to be interesting to see if how this works out going over to qualifying 2. How much time do we have left in qualifying 1 right now is what I'm trying to figure out. I need, oh, there we go. So just about a minute left here for qualifying 1. And then we get straight into qualifying 2 with our possibly top 14, 15, 13. I don't know how many drivers we're going to have. We're going to see what's going to happen with that. Hello once again, Commandment Coco. Good to have you guys on the stream. Alright, so let's see. Does he improve the lap? Is he trying to improve the lap? No, I don't think he's even trying to improve that lap. So about closing off the session on the Lunar Strike, unfortunately, he's invalidated the lap. We're going to follow him for that, see what's going on there. Where is... oh, there we go. So Super C here in the Alpine trying to get a lax lap in. Trying to maneuver himself through the S's there and having some trouble. That always one of the most difficult portions of the track here at the Circuit of the Americas to get through. I think he's trying to get through as best as possible. Let's see if he's going to improve his... well, actually, he needs to get some sort of lap time in, or he's going to possibly be out of qualifying 2 at this point. I think just about any lap time might actually help. Oh, and there we go. We have Ice 1 joining on the session, but a bit late in qualifying 1. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out and get a lap time in. I highly doubt it, as oh, there, the time is up already. So he's going to be starting 16th on the grid so far as it is. Might be pushed on 1 more position if we get Super C with a lap in. We'll see what's going to happen, but good to have Ice 1 in. So that's a full grid of 20 drivers to get started with the race when we get around to that. Not too bad to see, as we can have drivers join on during the qualifying session as it is there. Also, guys, check out the channel on YouTube. I already have... what did we do? We did schedule the streams upcoming from Sunday onwards for next week. We'll probably be doing them on a week-by-week basis and just updating that, and you can check it out. Also on Twitch, there is a schedule there on what exactly we'll be doing week by week, so you guys can have a look at that. Thank you very much to Atkinson for following us on Twitch as well. Quite a few new followers on Twitch, enjoying that day over there. So hopefully I've really enjoyed the stream so far. Alright, I think we're over here with the session, just waiting for everyone who is currently getting into their pit lane or the garage just to get over that, so we can get over to the results and over into qualifying 2. Kind of just what we're waiting for here at the moment, and then we start to get a bit more interesting with qualifying and see what's going to happen with strategy, as it's going to be a full dry race. So definitely they're going to be working on tire strategy during qualifying 2. So we'll see how that's going to work out. We're just waiting for Philip Marshall to get his car into... oh, there we go. I think we're good with that. Let's have a look at the results and get straight over to Q2. Been waiting for the past 5 minutes to get over the session there. Alright, so results for qualifying 1 here for NOMEX Championship Tier 2. Mr. GFX their fastest time in a session at 131.802, about 700 per second faster than Benjamin Carter, who went second in as Martin with his time. We got Chuckle there, third fastest with that. We got Paul went fourth fastest, Aiden Bennett the 5th, Liverpool 6th. We got Aki there in 7th, Philip Marshall goes 8th, Super C into 9, Commandment Coco into 10. We got Pollock in 11th, and we got Luna Strick in 12, barely makes it on over. As I said, a bit of DNFs and stuff happened during the start of the session, which is why only 12 are going to be going on over to the next session. Of course, we didn't have a full grid of 20 at the start as well. So the rest of the grid will have to start right where they are. We will go through the entire starting grid during the formation lap, and so we have an idea of where everyone is starting. Also, we'll have a look at the tires that the rest of the grid will be starting on. Of course, we'll know for the top 10 as we get on through that. So there we go. So into qualifying, 250 minutes already on the clock. 12 drivers in this. Just make sure a few stats up on the screen. I think yes, we need lap data, and I'll put tires on for now, and let's have a look as these cars start to get it on track. We'll see what tires these guys are deciding to go on. Looks like most of them might be deciding to go onto the mediums first, and then they might actually just go on to the soft tires maybe afterwards if that medium is not working out too well for them. Thank you very much, Benjamin Cardiff, following us on Twitch. Do appreciate that. Yep, I think most of our cars are going to be running on the mediums getting on out. So we got a Haas of GFX-Live getting out first. Was the fastest guy there in Q1. Let's see what is going to happen here for qualifying 2. Of course, they're just on their out laps here right now. Okay, it's back on with this here. Let's have a look on what's going on right about now. So quite a few drivers out already. Well, we're not going to be overly busy with only 12 drivers in the session here, even if everyone decides to get out on track. So let's have a look on board with the Haas right now on his hot lap, getting on through sector 2 it is. Yes, it is. And let's see how well he's going to finish out. One doesn't actually get off that exit too well. So he's going to put off to the corner now and let everyone else get on through. I think that was Hayden Bell that just went past him there. Trying to follow on with someone else right about now. On with Commandment. Coco here, see where he's going in the McLaren. Just trying to see what the lap times are going to look like in this session, as we got majority of these cars running on mediums. The only driver running on softs right about now is Philip Marshall there. So let's see what the lap time difference is going to be between the soft and the medium here. Already got Aki out of the session for some reason. Not sure what happened to his car. I think I can see where he was out. And we already passed that, so we're not going to be able to see it again, unfortunately. Let's get on back here with Coco 7 in the McLaren. Alright, so getting through Sector 3, he's about to finish off this lap, and we should start to see some lap times in. I'm not sure if the Alpine in front of him is about to finish a lap there as well, or getting started on lap, so we might have a lap before him. Let's have a look. Actually, no, I think he's getting started. So, Coco 7 goes 134.4, Luna Strike goes 135.3, goes into second so far. Who's going to be next to get across the line? We already got Philip Marshall doing purple Sector 1s in the Red Bull getting it wrong, and he's of course on the soft tires. Chuckle now goes fastest in the session, 132.9. Just a new wire up with that one there, so that's going to be interesting to see how they get around with that. We got GFX-Live getting around here. Let's see, he's about to get started on another lap here right about now. As we talked about in Monday with Tier 1, that elevation change going up into turn 1, it's about 130 something feet. So quite a bit difficult for drivers in the car itself to see turn 2 getting around there. So very difficult with that turn in terms of averaging your braking zone. So they got to be very careful with that, especially on opening lap of the race, which is why a lot of drivers tend to go wide into turn 1 on that opening lap, especially from the midfield going on backwards to the grid. So we're going to see what's going to happen in that case. So as we were discussing earlier, we did expect turns 3, 4, and 5 maybe is where we're going to have some issues through those S sections. Definitely might be where some of the drivers might have some problems getting on through. We'll probably have a lot of penalties end up with drivers here as well. I'm not sure how that'll work out. Just depends on how much invalidated laps are going to be running during the race itself. We'll see what's happening in that case as we get on over to that. Alright, so IG8Live goes up to P3 right about now, 133.4. Close to half of the grid with lap times in. On with Liverpool fan once again. As he gets through the sector 1 in the Alpine, let's see where he goes at the end of this. And this is that X section that we did talk about, guys. Very difficult getting through there. I'm not sure if it does look easy from anyone else's perspective, but really not that easy as you get on through. You gotta just watch your braking as you get on through that and just maneuver through without avoiding, actually just avoiding invalidating your laps as you get on through that. I'll keep back on the overhead view as you get on through with it. Paul and Pollock down at the bottom. Pollock still in the pits. We got Paul on hot lap right now. Super Steve on an out lap. Aki out of the session. Luna Strike in the pits. Liverpool on the hot lap as we're following here right now. And the rest of the grid seems to be out on track on laps right now. So I think they're trying to improve their time. As you said, some of these drivers might be running this on the mediums, then switching on over to the softs, because they will have to start the race on whatever set of tires they do their fastest laps on here, provided they do make it on over to qualifying 3 and it's a dry start, which is it's going to be. So they're going to have to be very careful about strategy. If they do the fastest lap on a soft set of tires here and they did about 2 or 3 laps, they will have to still start the race on them, even though that's about an extra lap or 2 wasted on it. So they're going to have to be just a bit careful with that. Chuckle now goes fastest again with a 132.7. Ahead of Aiden Bell, who's now down into second there, 132.8. IG8Live down to third, 133.4. Benjamin down to fourth, 133.8. Liverpool currently fifth with a 134.0. We're going to switch on over to Paul here in the Ferrari. Let's see where his lap is looking like as he gets around turn 1 at the moment into turn 2. And might be having some trouble with those S's, I'm not sure. Kind of just glitches off for a second sometimes. Oh, and thank you to Aiden Bell following us on Twitch there now. Bit of a fast-paced track here, Circuit of the Americas, so always an interesting race. I haven't done so many streams on this, so we're trying to get them in as we do get them coming now. So both tier 1, well, tier 1 has finished, tier 2 working on that today here. So let's see how their race is going to go and how many drivers we will have finished this race as well, and how many safety cars we're going to have to deal with in this one, as a lot of drivers are still getting used to the cars here on F1 2021. So even all of the leagues I've dealt with so far kind of been the same kind of issues with the safety car situation. So we'll see what's going to happen here with tier 2 today. I'm not sure what happened with the previous race, how many safety car there was for the previous round last week, but we'll see how this one goes. So far looking pretty good with the lap times, gotta say, because we're getting pretty close off to some of these guys. As you can see, Aiden Bell and Liverpool, they're pretty close off with their lap times, only by a few hundred per second, sometimes separated. Paul now goes fastest in the session at 132.2. Not a bad time from the Ferrari driver there, and that's going to hold up pretty well. I think he's already retired after the session there, quite happy with that lap time. Already about 500 per second faster than what Chuckle did, so I think that's going to hold up pretty well for him. We're going all the way down to the bottom of the grid here right about now in the Alfa Romeo of Pollock here. See where he's going to be purple sector 2 so far as he's going on through here and getting to sector 3 now. So let's see at the end of this current lap where he's going to be. Alright, so about to get across the line on board with him, and he goes 5th fastest in the session at 132.9, only a 10th down from Liverpool's time. I don't know what everyone is going right around Liverpool's time whenever we gotta call it out. Anyway, he has retired from the session. I think we're close after the end of qualifying 2 here, which is why that's starting to happen. So down with Lunas Frank here on an invalidated lap right at the moment. He's got to try and get another one started if he can on the Super C here right now. We got just about under 4.5 minutes left here in qualifying 2, so still a bit of time. Alright, so I think we're looking pretty good here with the time so far, but I'm looking at the tires that these guys are using. Seems to be it's going to be a mix of strategies with the top 10 going over to qualifying 3 if that's going to be the case. Because it looks like we got quite a few on the mediums, quite a few on the softs, and those on the mediums though making some faster lap times than guys running on the softs. So very interested to see what's going to happen in terms of race pace time, or how close the battles are going to be on track. With that there, the Super C now goes 133.9, puts himself up into 9th. Coco 7 goes down to 10th. Luna Strike down to 11th. Of course, Aki out of the session as it is there right now. So who else is currently still running? Let's see if Luna Strike is running another lap here. And he has gotten started with another lap on those same set of soft tires here right now. Just want to take a chance to go back into the pit. So let's see if he's able to get on through with this lap. We're going to stay with him, and hopefully he's able to avoid an invalidation here. And that's where he kind of loses, I think, most of the time there on those S's. He takes a little bit too much on those curves on the sides, and just invalidates a lap right there. It's very, very difficult getting through there without invalidating your lap, so that they have to be very careful about it. So I'm going to switch on back to someone else here. Who else is currently running a lap? I think Coco 7 is on an out lap right about now. Let's have a look here. In sector 2, and he's gonna be trying to get started with his lap pretty soon. I think he's allowing the car behind of him to get past. I think that is Luna Strike coming there. Of course, his lap is already ruined, and he's gonna have to try again, possibly in that same set of tires, unless he has enough time to get into the pits, get back out, do an out lap, and then do a hot lap, which I don't think he has. That's about only 2 minutes left there, and a lap time around here takes about just over 1:30 seconds. So he would need at least about 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes possibly to get into the pits, get her back, and do a lap here. About 3 minutes, I would say. Alright, so we're gonna follow on with the McLaren here. I think, I'm not sure if Luna Strike is going to try again. I just like he is going to try again. He's going to try to follow on behind the McLaren, possibly to see if he can get maybe a bit of a slipstream going through, and possibly get a good lap going. But he has to avoid invalidating his lap. We're going to be on board with Coco 7 as he gets on through turn 2 and into turns 3, 4, and 5 in that S section. Let's see how well it goes for him. And he keeps it not too much on the inside and avoids an invalidation there. Let's see how Luna Strike is going on through, and I don't think he's doing a fast lap here. Well, good news, he didn't invalidate on this occasion, but unfortunately not going to be able to make a faster time in. And looks like Coco 7 did invalidate somewhere else on the track. So that's going to be his lap over there as well. I think that's kind of it. We're just waiting for Coco 7 and Luna Strike to retire off the session so we can just get over to qualifying 3. I wonder if they're going to want to drive back all the way around into the pits. Okay, so results for qualifying 2. Paul, the fastest guy in the session at 132.2. Not a bad time for him. We got Chocolate going second fastest. Aiden third. We got Liverpool fourth. Pollock went fifth fastest there on the softs, along with Philip Marshall in sixth on the softs there as well. GFX Lad seventh. We got Benjamin in eighth. Super C in ninth. And Coco 7 in 10th. So I think we're going to have our top 10 fully go on over into qualifying 3 for this one here. Looks like Lunar Circle have to start 11. Aki starting 12. And so far as we have it, we have 8 drivers who are going to be starting the race on the mediums. 2 in the top 10 will be starting on the soft. So we'll see how the strategy works out with them for the race, because I think this is about a 26 or 28 lap race around here. So we'll see what's going to happen, because I think majority of the guys might try to make it a 1-stop race, or maybe a 2-stop. It might just end up being a 2-stop minimum, depending on safety cars and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so into qualifying 3, top 10 drivers in. Let's see who's going to be first to get out on track. And it's only for 12 minutes, so they don't have a lot of time on this. They have to just get a bit of a rush on with it and get their lap times in. Of course, everyone's going to be on the soft tires, so we're not going to put that on. And let's see who's going to be first to get out on track here. And thank you to Sam Family for subscribing to us on YouTube. We appreciate that very much. Alright, so we got cars heading out on track here for qualifying 3 already. Let's have a look and see how that's going. And I think we're on with GFX Slot here in the house. Is Stevie coming out just behind of him there as well? I think that is Chocolate is, yep, it is. So these two have been a bit strong here in qualifying so far, getting on through. Both houses through. I think both Alpines have gone through as well. Both Red Bulls, I think, through as well. But I think just one Ferrari and one Alfa Romeo through, one McLaren and one Aston Martin so far through here. So let's see how that's going to work out, because the Haas teammates and the Alpine guys are looking pretty good in terms of this session. So let's see what their qualifying times are going to be as they get on through here. So we got everyone starting to get out on track on the out laps right now. And as soon as we start to get some lap times in is where this is going to be getting quite a bit interesting. So let's see. Okay, it's back on here. Let's have a look here right now. So I'm going to switch on board a bit. Let's see who's running in front. I think it is GFX Lad going to be the first one to set a lap time. So I think we're going to stick with him on board as he gets on through Sector 2 here at the moment. And I think we got quite a few cars coming behind him. We're going to have lap time after lap time come on in here. So it's going to be interesting to see the first round of lap times, what they're going to be looking like. And I think a few cars will be coming in just after that for their first round. And then possibly have a second round on everybody get on through the session. As usually it goes with qualifying 3. Not a lot of time to do a lap here. So they're going to have to be a bit quick about it. I think usually they're going to get to do about 2 sets of qualifying lap, because they're possibly going to be doing it on different set of tires there as well. So everything's going to be purple on GFX Lad's side here, just because he's going to be the first one to set a lap time in. Let's switch on back to the overhead cam and have a look at how this is going to go. So getting through Sector 3. One more turn to just get around here before he gets back onto the start finish straight to get his lap time finally in. And let's see how fast that's going to be and compared to the rest of the grid. 131.5 as he gets on through with that there. We got Paula 131.2, goes faster there right now. We got, I think, an Alpine coming on through. I'm not even sure who's coming on through right now. Might have to wait for Chuckle to get on through. He's going to be the next one. Then comes Coco 7. Let's see what that works out. So 2 lap times in, both in the 131s. Looking pretty good. Chuckle goes 131.5. Coco 7 coming around. Invalidated lap, unfortunately for him. That's not going to work too well. So I'm going to try it once again. We got the Red Bull or Philip Marshall coming around. Let's see where he goes on the grid. Hasn't invalidated a lap, so that's a good sign on that. Possibly into the 100 on. Goes 133.1. Might have to switch a 1 and a 3 around for him there. Let's see if he's able to get a faster lap in. Might try it on this same correct lap that he's going back on here right now. So have a look and see what's happening here with the Aston Martin right about now. About to get across the line. Does he get a lap in? Goes fourth fastest at 132.1. Coco 7 unfortunately out of the qualifying session here. Down there at the start of sector 2 is where his car went off. So unfortunate to see that happen there. Let's see who is going to be the next driver getting around here. Looks like it might be Super C here because I think Aiden Bell is behind of him. Somewhere coming, so we're going to keep on with the Alpine driver as he gets around. See how that's going to work out. Still quite a few glitches in this game as you guys can see getting on through with it. That they do need to fix. Not sure what the next update is going to be. Alright, so around the final turn, let's see where the Alpine goes on the grid so far. Not looking too bad with lap time for the top 3, especially there goes 5th fastest, 132.6. So it looks like we're going to have a few cars into these 132s getting on through. We got a purple sector 2 from Aiden Bell so far, so looking good in the Williams. Let's see where he goes at the end of this. Of course, his team did not make it all the way at this point to qualifying, but he is going to have to step it up a bit and possibly get that car somewhere on the front row for the start of this race if he can. So let's see how fast his lap time is going to be. And not the best of luck here. Invalidated. He's going to get back into the pits and get out for a second round in just a bit. On with Liverpool fan in the next Alpine right now. His teammate went up to 5th at the moment, 132.6. Does he go faster? And he does go faster than that into P4, 132.1. A few tenths faster, so not too bad so far. I think that concludes our first round of lap times here. We currently got Paul here on a out lap. He's going to be the only one to get started on the next hot lap going on through. Everyone else is going to be returning back into the pit lane and just getting a change of tires, getting some fresh tires on, refueling the car if needed. Just keep it minimum. They just only do that just to run just one hot lap on the track, just to keep the car as light as possible. That's a bit of strategy. I'm not sure if everyone knows that you guys usually do that, because you do need the fastest lap on track in qualifying. In order to do that, they gotta have the minimum amount of fuel in the car just to make it as light as possible so that it goes a bit faster. That's how you would notice cars do a faster lap time on the second lap rather than the first one. That's when they're out on the same stint though. If they go back into the pits, they just do a bit of a reset and then get back out. So let's see how this hot lap is going to go. Hasn't been an invalidation so far here from Pollock, so looking pretty good. Of course, he knows the worst he's going to be starting is P10 or possibly P9 because Coco 7 is already out of the session. So we'll see how that works out. Aiden Bell still to get the lap time in. He's already back into the pits. He invalidated right up to the end of qualifying sector 3, so could not get started on another lap. They had to go back into the pits for that. And we're going to wait for the rest of the grid to get back out, which they will in just a bit. Paul, I see, is out of the session as well with a 131.2. He's currently holding on to provisional pole by that time. Will he be able to hold that all the way to the end of the session? Not sure, because he's already out now. He's going to be making no more lap times here. So it does give the rest of the drivers a chance to possibly beat that in the next 4 minutes that we have remaining. And they're all going to start to get out back in the next 30 seconds or so, just to finish off their final lap here. So Paulo goes 132.5, puts himself up into P6 on the grid for the start of the United States Grand Prix. Not a bad qualifying position so far as we have it here. Gonna switch this on around a bit. Alright, so far so good from GFX-Live. A purple sector 1 on his second hot lap going around here. So let's see where he takes that. Oh, and he apparently doesn't take that anywhere. That's an invalidated lap there now. Messed that up quite a bit. And he's trying to fight for provisional pole here because he's currently third on the grid. Hello Sam, thanks for joining on the chat. And thanks for subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. Alright, so that means GFX-Live will have to go another lap on those same set of soft tires because he's not going to have enough time to get back into the pits or get back out again. So we'll see how that works out. Philip Marshall here. Let's see where he's on track here right now in Sector 2. Working on another hot lap, currently 133.1 with his current time. Let's see where that is going to take him at the end of this. Coming very close after the end of qualifying 3 right about now, so everyone should be getting ready to get started with this race. Let's see how that's going to work out. It's under 2 minutes now. Keep on with him just a bit as they finish off this lap and see where he goes. Does he improve from 133.120 and does improve just a bit, goes up 132.5 into P7. Not too bad with the time there. Aiden Bell here in the Williams about to get across the line. And how fast does he go? So into second place on the grid at 131.4. That's a front row start there for him. Not too bad with that. And thank you to Jamboy there for following us on Twitch. Right, thank you very much, Sam. I do appreciate that. Alright, so interesting lap from Aiden Bell there, up into second place on the grid. Missed out on provisional pole by about 2/10 here. But not a bad position to be starting this race in. And let's see where the rest of the grid is. So Chuckle here, still running another lap here, I think. Let's have a look. If he's able to finish this off and without invalidating on that final turn coming up there right now. 131.5 from him. Needs to go a few tenths faster in order to, and then he does actually get it at 131.1, goes about a 10 faster than what Paul had, takes away provisional pole from him and pushes him down to second. Aiden now down to third on the grid for the start of the race, and 15 seconds remaining, so highly doubt he has enough time to get around, get across the line to do another lap here. GFX-Live about to get across the line here once again. He improves, goes up into second place, 131.130, and misses out on provisional pole by 300 of a second. So very impressive with that. Qualifying 3 time is now up on that, and whoever's currently running the lap will be able to finish at this point here right now. We got Liverpool possibly on a lap here as well. Trying to have a look on board with him. Benjamin might be on a lap in that Aston Martin as well, not sure. So we have a few more drivers who possibly are still on laps running here. We're gonna have to wait for them to finish off before we do get started with the formation lap and the race itself, which is what we've been waiting for the past how long we've been live? About hour 16 minutes so far. But very interesting at the end of qualifying, having Paul move down to third, but not too bad of a start for him. That's going to be a second row start along with Aiden Bell alongside him. Liverpool and Benjamin starting just behind that, and Pollock and Philip Marshall there. Super C and Coco 7 will be starting fifth on the grid because Coco 7 didn't get to make a lap time in. Went off on just at the start of Sector 2 on the track during the qualifying session, so didn't get to make a lap time in here. Let's have a look, see if the Aston Martin driver is able to make a faster time in or not. Not sure if he's in a fast lap yet, but let's see where he goes with that. At 132.1 holds him into 6th, and that's going to have to keep him there for now. I think we're just waiting for top 2 drivers who already did their qualifying laps to finish off here. Alright, so we're just waiting for qualifying 3 to close off here so we can get into the race session. And that was actually very interesting, I gotta say, getting down to the end. Kind of tends to happen a lot during the end of qualifying 3. A lot of drivers tend to come out with their final laps and get a way better lap time and just improve their time. So that's why usually drivers, everybody gets out with the last few minutes remaining in qualifying 3 to make a lap time in. But not a bad job from Chocolate, getting a 131.1. GFX-Live 131.130, just off by 300 of a second. So really quite impressive with the two of them. So I think it's going to be quite interesting there as well. because as you guys can see there, it's both horses on the front row of this one. Not something I think we all expected, but they did perform pretty well coming through qualifying 1 and qualifying 2. So not overly surprised that both of them are starting on the front row here for the United States Grand Prix. So going to be quite interesting to see how much space they actually give each other going into turn 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well, because they are probably going to be racing each other, because this is going to be for points and for the Drivers' Championship as well. And I highly doubt they're going to want to let their teammate ahead of them, so we'll see how well that works out. I think we're just waiting. Yeah, there we go. So we have the results now, and then get on over to the formation lap and to the race. Alright guys, so fastest guy here in qualifying 3, and who is going to be starting on pole is Chuckle there. Alongside him is going to be his teammate GFX. So a front row lockout from Haas, and not a bad one at all. Paul here is going to be starting 3rd on the grid. Then we got Aiden starting 4th on the 2nd row. We got Liverpool fan starting 5th. Benjamin will start 6th. Pollock in 7th. Philip in 8th. We got Super C in 9th, and Coco 7 will be starting 10th. Unfortunately, didn't make a lap time there in qualifying 3. And having a look at the lap times, as we can see, going to be very interesting of a fight out front into that opening lap to see what's going to happen with that. So far so good. Let's head on over into the race session and get started on the formation lap, so we can have a look at the entire starting grid. And I think we do have a full grid of 20 drivers on with this, because Ice One did join on at the end of qualifying 2, I think it was. So we do have a full grid of 20 drivers to get started with this race. It's going to be very interesting. We might be having a safety car on that opening lap. I'm not sure. Most of the guys said they didn't expect it to happen in turn 1. Might be through the S's or maybe later on in the lap. Just depends on what's going to happen. So let's have a look. In about 20 seconds, we'll have a look at the grid and see where we're going from there. Okay, so about to get started with a 28 lap race here for the United States Grand Prix here with NOMEX Championship Tier 2. So we're going to have a few stats up on the screen before we have a look here at the entire starting grid. So let's just put details for tires on so we can have a look what these guys are going to be starting on. So starting grid as it is there, we just got finished your qualifying 3. Chuckle there qualified P1. GFX Lad, his teammate, is going to start alongside him there in 2nd on the grid. Paul there starting 3rd. Aiden Bell qualified for 4th. Liverpool fan will be starting 5th. Benjamin Carter starts 6th. Pollock will start 7th alongside him. And then Philip Marshall is starting 8th. Super C there in 9th. Command Coco in 10th. We got Luna Strike starting 11th, Aki in 12th, Lucky starting 13th, Tunable 14th, we got Steph starting 15th, Richardson starting 16th, Ice One starts 17th, we got Alex starts 18th, we got Taylor Mckenzie starting 19th, and Markham starting 20th on the grid. So that's our starting grid as it is there right now. We can have a look at the tires and see what it is. Pollock and Philip Marshall, only 2 in the top 10 who's going to be starting on the soft. The rest of that grid in the top 10 starts on the medium. Down in the rest of the bottom, midfield onwards, we have a mix of strategy going on between soft and medium in terms of getting started with the race. So we'll see how well that is going to work out. We're going to switch on over from tires and go back to position changes. You guys are going to be able to have a look at that as we get started with the race. As you know, we're not able to keep up with everyone's position as they're changing through and through. We're trying to keep an eye on the front row as it gets started, and have a look at the midfield as they get on through with the first sector, at least to see if we can catch any possible incidents that may happen on this race start here. So we got everybody just warming up those tires a bit as they get on back to the grid here, and everyone should be getting reformed back. And looks like the rest of the grid are quite a bit away from Chuckle here in terms of getting started back here, and I don't think he wants to be sitting on that grid very long. Let's see what's going to happen here. As you can see, guys, very long well, not really too long of a run down into turn 1, but I gotta say up into turn 1 in this case, because we're going uphill, and braking zone is going to be quite a dangerous one for some of these drivers to deal with, which will definitely see quite a few drivers going wide into turn 1, turn 2, then turn 3, 4, and 5. We're going to see what's going to happen through those X sections, because a lot of drivers are going to get a bit of warning in terms of that. I think we're waiting for the final driver here, Markham in the AlphaTauri, to get sorted into his grid slot here right now, which I think he now is. So let's get on board with our guy in second place on the grid. That's GFX-Lad on the left-hand side here. His teammate on the right-hand side. He's going to have a close eye on him on that run up into turn 1. So let's see who gets a better start off the line. And then we're going to have a look at the rest of the grid as they get on through that opening lap. So we got 5 lights on, and let's see, they're off on this one, and looks like Chocolate gets a better start, and he's gonna have his teammate try to follow him behind. Let's have a look. Everybody's kind of everywhere on the track here right now, and we do expect we have a few contact already happening with that Alpine having a car going behind of him. Now if Romeo goes a bit wide but still gets on through. I don't think any incidents have caused a safety car so far, as they still all get on through quite well. We do have a few cars side by side through those S sections, and that's not going to be too well. We did see a bit of carbon fiber flying around as well, so definitely there are some debris on a track as they get on through there. So about 3 cars almost try to fight for a position and go wide down at the back there. I think that's somewhere between Taylor, Mckenzie, and Luna Strike, and possibly around there, I'm not sure. Either way, let's have a look out front, see what's happening with the entire grid. So Chocolate still leads this race. Aiden Bell up 2 positions into second place as he gained. GFX-Lad has lost a position down to 3rd. Paul has lost a position, he's down to 4th. Benjamin running in 5th now. Coco 7 up to 6th. Started down there in 10th, so has gained quite a bit of position as he got started there. Trying to follow on, see if we have any incidents currently happening. A bit of close contact between the Williams of Mckenzie right now with Super C in front of him. Aki trying to fight someone for a position down at the back here. Let's have a look on board and see what's happening in that case there. So quite a few cars are going to still be very close off together. About to finish off the first lap here soon enough. We got Aki going to the side of the track. Might have lost the rear there, and he's lost a few positions because of that. Let's switch on back up in front, see what's happening here, because so far so good as they are about to enter into the second lap. No safety car so far. We got a yellow flag situation though happening somewhere on track, and why is that showing sector 2? I'm not sure. Either way, we're going pretty well so far. Aiden Bell still running ahead of the Haas here, and the leaderboard getting a bit mixed up right about now, so we're just going to ignore that for the time being and just follow on with what's happening on track until that leaderboard gets sorted back again. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-stop strategy in most cases here. Might be a 3-stopper for some of these guys who took damage. We got a few cars into the pits at the moment. We got Pollock, Tunable, Liverpool fan, Unlucky into the pits. Ice One down the back of the grid. I think he's trying to catch up and get back out in front if he can. We're going to switch this in position change back up the tires right now, and let's have a look on what's happening so far. I think our leaderboard is now back up and fixed, so we can see what's happening with position so far. So it looks like Chocolate is still leading. GFX-Lad has gotten back his position at the second place. Aiden Bell is now down to 3rd, so he's lost that position, and he definitely will try to get it back. Paul running just behind of this. Benjamin Carter about 4 tenths behind Paul there, so still a pretty close gap as they're fighting out here in front for positions getting through the race. Now it is only 28 laps for the race. We're on lap 2 here at the moment. The laps last about a minute and a half average, just over that here. Alright, so we got both Haas still leading the race, and let's see if that's going to continue and be a double podium for them. GFX-Lad now has the fastest lap there, 136.5, so if he's going faster than his teammate, let's see if they're going to have any team orders in terms of switching that up. Paul and Benjamin here trying to fight for P4, as that Aston Martin was trying to look on the inside of turn 1, but had to rethink that and just hold the position for now. So let's see how well he continues with that chase, and he's pretty close up behind, getting through the SS here right now, 3, 4, and 5, and still holding on to pretty well. I'm just trying to follow the same line that Paul actually goes on through, so he's gonna be hoping for the DRS advantage to become online pretty soon here. So gap as it is there right now, just a few tenths behind, but he is within a second of that car. So let's see how that's going to work out. Further down the field here, let's have a look at what's happening with these cars, because we have a few close gaps working at the back here, especially with Richardson, I think, with Alex in front of him. I think a bit of a switch almost happening out front here between GFX Lad and Aiden Bell as he's trying to fight back for second place in the race. First penalty now in the race goes to Super C there, who's currently 11th on the grid, possibly for exceeding track limits. We're going to keep on with this Williams for just a bit and see how this gap is working out, because it's looking like very much he is going to be challenging GFX Lad back again for that position. Paul, Benjamin, Coco 7 and Philip Marshall all just behind of this as they continue on through with this lap here. Looks like Richardson and Alex might be in it there as well. Out in front, the Haas's might be trying to do a switch here. If GFX Lad is faster, I'm not sure as yet. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see how that's actually working out. We have Benjamin here in... We got a virtual safety car. Something's happened somewhere on track. We got a virtual safety car for that. Looks like it's something that happened with Taylor Mckenzie. Let's see if we can have a look at some point here what happened. And it's happened at the... I think somewhere around turn 19. His car is stuck at the side of the track there. Not even sure how he got all the way there. So that's going to be a virtual safety car, which means it's not a full safety car. It's just going to be lasting possibly about half a lap or so. Everyone's going to have to slow the speed down by about 40% until they're allowed to go again. Any speeding during this virtual safety car will result in a penalty, most likely a drive-through penalty as well. And it's going to slow the field along a bit, of course, in decreasing the gap between a lot of cars. The Haas teammates out front, only a tenth between them. Aiden Bell 3 tenths behind. We got Paul about a second behind right now, along with Benjamin as well. So this is going to be creating a bit of an advantage for some of these cars. We'll see how that's going to go. Aiden Bell looks like he's trying to get ahead already as we're back racing. Already track is green and ready to go here. So let's see. Aiden has gained a bit of time. Let's see if that's going to be any sort of advantage to him. Of course, GFX that gained some time as well to his teammate out in front, so he definitely will be looking to go possibly get into the lead of the race if he can. I'm not sure if the Haas teammates are working together on this or if they're just racing. And there goes GFX getting a 3-second penalty, which is not going to be that good for his race. So far, we've lost 2 drivers here. Taylor Mckenzie is out and Lucky is out of the race as well. So that leaves us with 18 drivers in. Still a decent number to work with here, so we'll see how the rest of the race is going to progress on through. Out in front of following on with the Haas teammates at the moment. It's a bit of racing between them, and it's only a 4-10 gap as we continue on through. So let's see what's going to happen, because they don't want to be holding each other up at this point, and looks like GFX Lad is catching up to Chuckle at the moment. Looks like Super C gets a position up on Dan Richardson down there for 9th as well. Not a bad overtake. I think he did get that position quite quickly. We do have a few closer gaps on the grid as we're going on through this, but I want to see if this overtake is going to happen with the slipstream happening here right about now. Looks like GFX Lad will get the advantage, takes it on the inside, and will be able to hold that position ahead of his teammate now. And Chuckle down to second. Let's see if he's going to fight him back for it, or if he's going to be able to keep Aiden just behind as well. And there is a second virtual safety car. Something is happening on track somewhere again. Looks like it's something happening with Steph there in... Let's see. Let's have a look. See if we can have a look. See what happened here. I'm not sure if his car is still on track or not. Doesn't look like it is. Either way, that should be over pretty soon, and we should be able to get back racing again. So 3 drivers out of the race so far. Ice1 is quite a way behind. I think he's trying to catch back up. The top 4 cars, as we can see here, are running just very close behind each other. Benjamin has lost a bit of time to the car in front, and he's now 3 seconds behind. He needs to catch up a bit if he can. We'll see if that's going to work out for him. But as it is there right now, Race Leader currently has a 3-second penalty that he's going to have to figure out how to deal with, which means he does have to get 3 seconds ahead of the car behind of him, which is his teammate. So that would just be a switch between the two of them. Of course, has to keep an eye on what's happening with the car down in third, but we'll see what the gap is by the time we get to the second half of the race. Alright, so we have race. We have DRS is now back online. Are we still under the VS? Because I see the map is I think we're back racing. I think that's just a bit of a glitch on my end, or I'm not sure what's happening here. Let's go back on front. So we still seems to be having yellow flags all along the track, because I see the map is still yellow here. So I'm not sure if we're back racing as yet or not. Doesn't seem to be the case though, because Chocolate is now out of the race for some reason, and that might actually result in a full safety car depending on where it happened. And looks like it happened on the straight there in sector 2. We should be able to have a look at that here right now. So there's this car at the side of the track. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there. So that's another driver out of the session. I think Coco 7 just had a spin, possibly reset it on track. Okay, not sure if there was a glitch for a second ago, but I seem to be fine here right about now. The track is green again, so I know we're back racing. And we're going to go down to the midfield of the grid. Let's follow on with Super C here in... Oh, and a bit of contact with the Red Bull from behind to him. Had some problems braking there, so Dan Richardson just lost his entire front wing. He's going to have to get back into the pits. So a bit of contact with Super C out front. Hopefully his car doesn't have any damage, because he's chasing after the McLaren right about now, trying to get ahead, and I think he's glitching a bit all over the place at the moment. So definitely looking to get that overtake done, but might have some trouble because we seem to be having some connection issues here. Let's have a look at Markham here in 8. He's having a look at these two out front right now. I'm not sure what his viewpoint is, if he's seeing cars glitching around. But he's keeping on the racing line himself. Not going to try to push for an overtake right about now. Got a yellow flag situation in sector 2. Something's happened to someone there, and I'm not sure who it is right now. I think that was tunable there. Yep, it was. He might have had maybe a bit of a spin or something, but he's back going again. Currently on lap 8. We still got about 20 laps to finish off this race, so quite a way to go still. Out in front, let's see what the deal is here right now. So Chocolate out of the race. We know one horse is out. I'm not sure what happened, if there was a tussle between teammates or between him and Aiden Bell. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but unfortunately he is out. GFX-Live still leading the race here right now. Aiden Bell now running in second, 8 tenths behind Paul here, running 3 tenths behind Aiden, and then Benjamin still about 3 seconds behind these guys and coming on through. Of course, he's now up a position here, so that might help him out just a bit. So on with the Ferrari right now. Let's see if he's able to catch up to Aiden on this straight. We'll have that DRS advantage, and we'll use his ERS as well to possibly try to catch up and, I don't know, just try to stay in the slipstream, and hopefully he's able to gain some time and close the gap just a bit. Now out in front is where it seems to be getting a bit closer here as well, and we got yellow flags all the way around. I'm not sure, is that a safety car or a virtual safety car, what's happening there, or if that's just a glitch. I have no idea right about now. All I can say is it seems to be wave yellows all around the track at the moment, but everyone seems to be still be racing, so this might just be a glitch happening on possibly on my end. I'm not even sure right now, so we're just going to keep on going with it at the moment there. So as far as we can see here right now, they are still racing. I'm not sure what the entire track is showing all yellow for at the moment, but everyone is still racing and getting on through as far as I can see. And let's switch on down to the rest of the grid, see what's happening. So we got Alex in the McLaren in 5th, Super Steed down in 6th in the Alpine, still trying to fight for a position here. See what's happening in that case. They did have a bit of contact, so there might have been some damage there as well. Not sure. Markham here trying to gain a position around that Alpine, and let's see if he's able to get it done. He has a pretty good run here down this straight. Possibly might be able to just get an overtake done. Not sure if he's going to try, because Alex and that Alpine is trying to fight for positions down at the side of the track. And let's see if they have any contact or not as they get on through. But Markham goes a bit wide though, gets up a position. I think they're up into 7, Coco 7 running in 8 and out of the race. What happened there? Something did happen with him and the other car, I think. So I'm not sure who he had contact with, but I think he had contact with someone. That might result in just a yellow flag or maybe a full safety car. I'm not sure, but the car is still stuck at the side of the track there. It's not blocking the racetrack, but there is a bit of debris there, so I think the marshals might just get rid of that and continue on with the race. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. Out in front, our gap have been quite close actually since the start of the race coming on through. Got about 18 laps remaining right now. On board with Aiden's 5/10 is what the gap is, and he's trying to chase him down but not having the best of luck. We got about 2 drivers into the pits there right about now, possibly getting tires changed, or we'll see what the strategy change is going to be, as these two are fighting for the lead here right now. The Haas has the inside, so he's going to be able to keep that at least for now. Aiden's still going to try to fight it back with a 2 to 3:10 gap that he currently has. Paul, they're having a look at the Ferrari from behind, and possibly hoping they take each other out and he gets away with the race lead here. We have quite a few drivers out of this session so far. Only 15 remain in. I'm not sure if Ice1 is still connected to his car. We'll have to have a look at that in a bit and see what's going on with his situation there. Alright, so a bit of a situation. We got Paul exiting the pits right now. So that puts Benjamin ahead of him. So he's now down to 4th. He's lost 1 position only. I'm looking at what the gap is here right now. It's a 17-second gap with him and Benjamin in front. Then going down to Super Steed there, he's falling along the order just a bit. Had a bit of a gap too, about 30-something seconds. Now it's a 20-second gap between Alex and Paul out in front. So gaps are quite big. So those running out in front have just a big gap to work with, and possibly might be able to keep their podium positions. Of course, this is going to change with a safety car if that does happen. Let's have a look at penalties right about now. It's mostly 3 seconds, except for Super Steed. 9 seconds of penalties for him so far. Position changes as it is. Looks like Alex has gained the most position in the race so far. Might be looking at getting driver of the day. See what's going to happen in that case. Let's get on back over to tires and continue on out in front. Let's just have a look at Liverpool here, see where he is right now. So gets that overtake done. I almost went a little bit wide onto the grass as well there, but actually gets it done pretty well. So he holds another position up into 5th there now, puts Alex down to 6th though, and he's already starting to gain a bit of time. So already by ahead by a second at least. Alright, so we finally have Alex into the pits here right now. Let's see what that switch is going to be. It did about 11 to 12 laps there now on those softs. Having a change of front wing, I had some damage on that. And I think he's going on to a new set of softs to go back here. So he's heading out on that. Let's have a look back out front and see what's happening with our top few drivers here. So GFX still leading this race in the house. His teammate out, I'm not sure if they came together and had a bit of an issue there. Benjamin Cardiff now up into second place and has a gap of 5.3 seconds to GFX out in front. Aiden Bell behind is about 15.3 seconds. He needs to build a big enough gap to take a pit stop and still come out back in second. He might actually end up back in fourth, just depending on what the gap is looking like right about now, depending on how much time it takes to get in and out of the pit lane for a tire change here at the Circuit of the Americas. So let's see how that's going to work out for him. Now he goes up into the lead of the race for the first official lap of leading this race here, because GFX Lad is now into the pits. Let's see if Aiden Bell is able to get ahead of him on this occasion here. Let's have a look on where they are on track as he's coming to the pit lane at the same time. It looks like GFX Lad has lost the position, so Aiden Bell gets a jump on him. He's up into second place ahead of GFX Lad, who was previously leading the race, and these two were fighting for the lead. Now GFX Lad down to second, both of them running on hard tires here, and just did a pit stop just after each other. So let's see how this is going to work out with these two in terms of fighting for the race win here this evening. So Benjamin now currently leading. Of course, he has to do a pit stop very soon, running 12 laps on those mediums so far. He can go a bit more of them, and GFX Lad is out of the race. Something's happened to his car, and I'm not sure what's happened there. That might be a full safety car, and it is. Let's see if we'll be able to have a look from Liverpool's car here. What happened to GFX Lad? Both Haas out of this race, and they were looking to finish both cars on the podium. There's his car at the side of the track. Not sure what happened. He might have lost the rear and it just ended up into the wall. I'm really not sure, but that is very unfortunate for the entire team, because both cars are now out of the race. They qualified P1 and P2, and I'm not sure what's going to happen in that case. That meeting is not going to go too well, and I'm not sure what happened previously with Chocolate, why he was out of the session, but a full safety car for that, as Benjamin continues to lead here right now. Might actually give him a bit of an advantage, and he's taking the advantage going into the pit lane, getting a change of tires during the safety car, so he's going to save a bit of time here. Not sure if he's going to be able to get out in front of Aiden here. Let's see how that's going to work, and Aiden's getting back into the pits as well. Yep, he is. So he's going to be going back into second. This puts Benjamin into the lead of getting back out, and he's going on to a new set of softs apparently. Let's see how this is working out here right now. So Aiden getting in there, getting onto a new set of softs there as well. Looks like they're planning to finish this race on those soft tires there. Of course, Paul now goes into the lead of the race because Benjamin had to do a stop there. He is now running behind the safety car. Hard tires on, only 2 laps done on them. They're pretty fresh, of course, but those soft tires with the cars behind of him, they're going to have a lot more advantage in terms of pace getting on through, especially down the straights for the next few laps after the safety car goes in. So Benjamin running currently in second, has a pretty good chance of finishing and winning this race. Aiden Bell currently third on the grid at the moment. Data Stop is on the fresh softs as well. Liverpool down in fourth on fresh softs, getting out here as well at the moment, and Philip Marshall just behind him. I think it stays the way it is. And we got Paul here who's going to come behind of that. He's currently into the pits. Philip's still in the pits, about to get out, so let's see how that works out and what tires these guys are going to choose to go on. But out in front are top 4 cars, with the exception of Paul here, are currently on fresh soft tire. This is going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen on that restart. Run down up to turn 1. I think it's going to get quite a bit interesting, and see if Paul can hold them through the first lap after they get restarted back with the race here. We're just going to wait for that to happen here right about now. But so far so good in this race, getting to the second half of it, so we'll see who is going to be coming out possibly to win this race. Unfortunately for the house drivers though, both of them out of the race. No points absolutely for that team this evening here. I'm trying to have a look at the constructor standings so far as it is. As we're under a safety car in the meanwhile, we probably might as well go through this. So see how that's going to work out. So constructor standings here for NOMEX Championship Tier 2 as it is. Williams currently leading 40 points, and that's quite a lead that they have, because second goes to Ferrari so far with 18 points. We got Alpine in third with 12 points only, and then 1 point behind that we got Alfa Romeo 11 points in fourth. We got Aston Martin currently fifth with 0. And then we got the rest of the teams 0 points as well. Haas 0 as well. So they were looking to score some significant points this race, but unfortunately that has gone away from them. We're going to see what's going to happen with Tier 1 and 2 coming next week for the Monaco Grand Prix. That's going to be one to look forward to. And it's a bit small, so I'm trying to have a look as we get on through this. So it looks like currently as we have it after round 1, leading the Drivers' Championship is Aiden Bell at the moment, 25 points for that, and he's going to look to get some significant points here as well, as he's currently third on the grid. We got X-Ray Delta currently second there, Taylor Mckenzie third, Super Steve fourth, Paul there fifth, and I think that's it for points because no other driver possibly finished the race. Maybe that's what happened there. So 25 points went to Aiden. X-Ray Delta had 18. Taylor Mckenzie with 15. Super C 12. Paula there 11th. And everyone else currently 0 until they score some points possibly in this race here. Benjamin had 0 points as well for that race. I think he definitely is looking to get some points here. And let's see how possible that is going to be by the time we're ready to get back restarted with this here, because he's going to be needing to keep that car on those same set of tires and possibly finish the race on them, as we have about another 13 laps or so to go here. I think it's going to be a possible 13 laps of racing on those soft tires, and they're going to have to finish the race on them just to make sure they can keep the positions that they currently had. I think that's the plan, since Benjamin, Aiden, Liverpool and Philip all went onto those soft tires there. Paul there in 10th went onto the soft tires there as well. We're going to see how well that's going to go. We're about to enter into Sector 3 and we'll be able to have an idea if we're about to get back racing or not. A lot of weaving going on the grid down behind there, just trying to keep everything up to temperature. Alright, so we do have that information from race control. We're about to get back racing at the end of this current lap. So going into lap 16 is where this is getting back restarted. We're going to see how well Paul is able to hold off the 4 cars behind of him, all having soft tires on and all within a second of each other at this point here. This might get a bit ugly for him. He might be losing a position or two if those hard tires are not able to give him enough pace getting on through the lap. Especially down that back straight in Sector 2 is where it's going to get a bit interesting, and when DRS does come back online. Okay, so about to get back restarted here as I get across the line. Let's have a look as Benjamin is going to chase after him, and he's going to be chased after by a few cars behind of him there as well. Very close gaps as we still have it here. Why is there still yellow flags all the way around the shop? I think that's a bit of a glitch on my end possibly. Let's ignore that for now because we're racing here back again with Paul still leading this race. We're going to keep on the overhead camera, have a look at this because Benjamin is closing in on that Ferrari very, very quickly. And I think this might just be a switch as they get onto a bit of a straight portion of the track, which will be very, very soon. 2 to 3 other cars are coming up very close behind of him. Super C looking to get a position down at the back there against Aki for 6 as well. We'll see how well that's going to go. I think Aiden is definitely looking to get an overtake done along with that Aston Martin, because he is currently leading the championship, wants to get as much points as possible to see if he can continue that lead. And the Ferrari pulling along to the side and possibly trying to keep them from overtaking, but not going to be able to hold them off for long, as the Aston Martin is already trying to get alongside him and get ahead in the inside of that turn. Actually looks like he gets it done. Aiden Bell trying to push through as well, and he might be able to get this done. Let's see, he goes a bit on the outside of the Ferrari, possibly trying to get that position up. Still trying to keep ahead, and he looks like the pace on the soft tires has worked well for him, because he's actually got that overtake down up into second place. He's now going to have to chase against Benjamin Carter for the lead of the race if he does want it there. So we'll see how that's going to work out. Liverpool here chasing after him in P4 on board. We're going to go a bit and have a look, see how close he's actually able to get. He's going to go down the start finish straight here now, hopefully some advantage with that, and the ERS might help him into the inside of turn 1 possibly to get this overtake down. Let's see if he's going to be able to push for it or possibly just hold that position for now. Looks like he's just going to hold it for now, doesn't want to force it at the moment. And getting around to turn 2, looks like he might be able to get around here before those S's come up around for them. Almost a bit of contact between them as that Ferrari goes a little bit wide, but does get him back to track, and he's currently behind Philip Marshall, who has gained a position because of that almost minor, well, a bit of minor contact I think they had. So as it is stands right now, lap 17, Benjamin currently leads, Aiden Bell running 9 tenths behind him, Liverpool running in third, Philip up to fourth right now. So those cars that went onto the soft tires have that advantage, and they used it as much as they could, got up into well, as much positions as they could. They're not going to have to fight each other for the lead and see what's going to happen in that case. Paul is now down to fifth. Started after that safety car leading the race, but those hard tires did not work as well as they expected. Super C here running in 6th at the moment. We got Lunar Strike running in 7th. Pretty close out behind. Aki running in 8th. There's a bit of glitch going on the leaderboard for some reason. I'm not sure. And then Markham running there in 9th. Let's have a look. Where is Ice 1? And I'm not sure what's happening with his car. He's definitely having some serious sort of glitch. Why the number is doing that. I'm afraid to even go back on it before he crashes the game or something. So we're going to keep off his car for now. And I think it did cause a bit of a glitch where we've lost engine song. So let's see if we can get that back. It doesn't look like we're getting that back. And looks like we have a safety car for some reason on track. Not sure what caused that safety car, but Pollock is out of the race. We got 10 drivers remaining right now. Alright, in the meanwhile we have a safety car. I'm going to disconnect off the session and get back on because I'm not able to get any engine sounds going on here. Oh guys, we're back again and we got song once again. I'm gonna keep off Ice One's car. I'm not sure why he's still in the session. Probably his internet is connected, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna have to work my way around him and not be stuck on his car. Otherwise it's probably gonna glitch the game once again. So under the safety car once again going on through. And I guess we're going to go one more lap under the safety car before we do get back restarted here. I think it came at an appropriate time as well as I had to restart the game to get back on here. Let's get our stats up on screen once again and see what is going on right now. Alright, so position change. Let's have a quick look at that right about now and see what's happening. So it looks like Markham is up 10 positions. We're going to have a look at penalties though. I want to see what's happening with that here at the moment. So 3-second penalty for Benjamin out front. Liverpool 8 seconds. Philip 8 seconds. Paul no penalty. This is going to be interesting out front to see what happens in terms of race win. Because it looks like Benjamin is able to keep it. Of course, we got to watch the gap that Paul is going to have towards him because right now it's pretty close, but we're going to have a few more laps of racing still before closing off the race after the safety car goes in. At least 7-8 laps of racing to deal with. We'll see how that works out. Lunar Strike there 11 seconds of penalties, Aiden 9 seconds, he's fallen down to 6, and then Ice 1, well, ignore him. Super C there 12 seconds of penalty, Aki 3, and Markham with 3 as well. We're going to go back over to where's tires. Alright, there we go. So let's keep an eye on that. I'm going to have to hope I don't go to number 7 just to glitch off the game again. So out in front, Benjamin Cardiff in the Aston Martin leading the United States Grand Prix here for Tier 2. Let's see if he's going to be able to finish the race and possibly get across the line P1 and keep P1 at this point here. Paul, on the other hand, is a different story. He might actually stand a pretty good chance of finishing still on the podium, but not sure what position on the podium he's going to get. It just kind of depends on the gap that he's going to have. So Benjamin with a 3-second penalty is kind of safe in one way. He's going to only need to get a 3-second gap against Paul itself to keep that win. Doesn't have to worry about Liverpool or Philip behind of him, because they all have about 8 seconds of penalties each. So this is going to work out quite interestingly well. We're about to get back restarted at the end of this lap here, getting into lap 20. That's going to put us about 8 lap or so of racing. So we'll see how well that final 8 laps is going to go. It looks like Super C, Aki, and Markham have switched to fresh tires to go to the end of the race here. I'm trying to have a look at something here. This one's car is showing fine there. Why when I switch to it, it's doing that weird, I don't know what the heck it was doing. Alright, we're about to get back restarted here, back onto the straight. Let's have a look how it's going to go between these few cars. Paul here, pretty close up behind that Red Bull though. He's looking to get an overtake done as soon as possible. Has his teammate coming behind of him as well. So let's see how long that position is going to be held by him, because he's looking to get up into P3. The further up he can get, the more likely he is to keep the race win at the end of this here. And his teammate Lunastrike seems to be pretty fast as well, keeping up only a 10th behind him at the moment. Not always safe having both Ferraris running just behind each other, but let's see how that's going to work out. Hopefully they use this to their advantage in some way or the other. Out in front, Benjamin leading by about 4/10 against the Alpine at the moment. The Red Bull just behind, another 1.5 seconds. Paul here losing a bit of time right now because he's out of that 3-second window that he needs to be in order to take the win away from Benjamin Cardiff. Because already Philip has about a 1.6 second gap. He has a 1.7 second gap. That's not going to work out too well. His teammate getting pretty close up behind and looking to get an overtake done against him. Let's see if they're going to hold positions or not. Does have the faster tire on, but he might still have to just hold that position that he currently has there. I'm going to go back out front at the moment. I'm just afraid to go down at the bottom of the grid in case I accidentally go on Ice One's car and possibly get a glitch again. Alright, heading into lap 21. Looks like Benjamin is doing pretty well. Gets the fastest lap out front, 1:34.2. And he's going to hold on to that going on through at the moment here. 1.2 seconds where the gap is. So he's actually starting to build a gap, which is a good sign for him, because that's going to make him actually keep the race win here and get some significant points for the Drivers' Championship as well. Aiden down in 6th will still be able to get some points at the end of this race and still possibly continue leading the Drivers' Championship as it is there right now. Also, there will be some more points in the Constructor Championship for Williams there. And they're going down to Aiden here at the moment, see what's going on, because he's now following on behind Lunastrike and possibly trying to get another position up if he can. Gap is pretty close. 2/10 is what it is right now. Using everything he has, I think, here, just trying to keep the gap as close. I don't know if he's going to pull on the inside. And looks like he will. I'll try to outbrake him into that turn. Actually gets it done. Doesn't even go wide. And keeps the position up pretty good for now. We have an Alpine coming behind. And the Ferrari spins around, loses the rear. And not too good of... in terms of that, he's losing positions down to 9th already. And he was just running behind his teammate. Unfortunately, he lost one position to Aiden and then lost the car itself. But still in the race to get some points for the team here. As long as he finishes the race in the top 10, he will be able to get some points. Liverpool now gets the fastest lap out front. So it looks like he might be catching up to Benjamin, who's currently leading. Trying to have a look at Super Steve coming behind here in the Alpine, coming up pretty quickly on Aiden Bell in the Williams. So this is not looking too good for him because, of course, Super C does have the soft tires on. Aiden has on the mediums at the moment. So with that car being on the faster tires, might have a better luck, and now has some bad luck as well there, because he now just got spun around. We actually went through Ice 1 for a second there and didn't get a glitch, surprisingly enough. I'm still afraid to go back to it, so I'm not even going to go back to it. So Super C out of that fight there right about now, leaves Aiden Bell out in 5th to continue onward to try and get ahead of Paul if he can there for P4. Let's see how that's going to work out. He is on the fastest tires to try and catch up. Gap is 1.4 seconds. Got about 6.5 laps remaining in the race, so just about enough time to possibly catch up and do it if he needs to. We'll see how that's going to work out. Liverpool 1.6 seconds behind in the Alpine here. Alpine looking to get some good points, but his teammate just fell a bit down. But at least he's still in the top 10. Just needs to finish the race about this point here to try and get some points in. Trying to get a perfect exit off of these turns right now to keep up with Benjamin as he gets on through into the next lap here, into lap 23. We're going to go down to Paul though, who's chasing after Philip Marshall at the moment. 4/10 is what the gap is, and it's looking pretty close going into turn 1, and looks like he might actually just keep it there where it is. It's not going to force for an outbreaking overtake at the moment. Possibly might try to get him on that straight down there in sector 2, using a bit of DRS advantage as well. So we'll see how that's going to work as we follow on through with them. Looks like Aki there might be getting past Ice 1's car. Not sure what sort of glitch was happening with him. Well, I'm not even sure if he's connected back to the car or not. I'm just too afraid to even switch over to it at this point here. We can only view it from someone else's perspective, so we're going to keep on with Paul here and see how this works out. Down this straight that are about to go into heavy braking zone, and there's a pretty close gap going against Philip here. Let's see if DRS advantage is going to help him as he's catching up, and he might try to outbrake him on the inside. I thought Philip might have forced him on the outside. Let's see what happens here. And looks like he gets a position up into 3rd place, and that's a podium position for him. Of course, Paul here doesn't have any penalties so far in the session, so he's looking pretty good at staying on the podium here right now and possibly getting away with 2nd place. So the gap is only 7.2 seconds, of course, against Liverpool, who has an 8-second penalty. So if he keeps that gap within 8 seconds, he will be able to take away 2nd place on the podium, and not a bad finish for him. I'm not sure if he's going to try to catch up to Liverpool and get ahead and possibly try to challenge Benjamin for that race win. We'll see what's going to happen. That Philip here and Aiden going side by side with this down that start finish straight now, trying to fight for that position there, and looks like Aiden's going to push it around the outside, and the Williams actually has the pace to do it. Let's have a look on the overhead cam. I'm trying to switch that over here right now. It looks like he actually gets the position up. So we now have Aiden up into 4th, Philip down to 5th, and he's still trying to keep up with the car in front if he can. Trying to get on board a bit here right now. Let's see how close Aiden is able to get to Paul, because remember, Paul is trying to keep himself onto a podium position here. Aiden having some penalties himself, so I'm not sure how much that is at the moment. We'll have to have a look. Actually, let's check that out here right now and see what's going on in that case. So Aiden has 12 seconds of penalties. That's going to lose him a position at least there against Philip. Benjamin doing a pretty good job out front so far, keeping the gap 1.6 seconds. He has a 3-second penalty only. Now 8 seconds of penalties for Liverpool. He's going to have to keep him down in 2nd. Paul now with a 3-second penalty and an 8.5-second gap is going to have to stay there in P3, and hopefully he can get across the line in that position to possibly keep it. But he's looking to lose that position right about now as Aiden is about to try and get past him. Will have a few laps to gain a bit of ground, but I don't think he's going to be able to gain him much time, because he needs to gain at least a 9-second gap against him to keep P3 if he does get by. He might actually get the overtake done, but I highly doubt he's going to be able to keep that position there. I think we're going to keep the penalties on going to the end, or possibly just take that off. Just take that off for now and go back to tires. Actually, we're going to just take everything off for the time being. just to provide enough thing on screen so we can have a look what's happening. So 4/10 is what it is, and they're still going to continue that chase all the way possibly to lap 28 here. The Ferrari is going to try to keep him behind as much and as long as he can, just to make sure he does not lose that final podium position. Down the straight they go. Let's see if this is going to be any sort of advantage. Forces him on the outside and actually gets by. I think that DRS advantage helped quite well. So he gets that position up into third place on the podium here, but not possibly going to be able to keep it unless he gets a 9-second gap here. So we'll see what's going to happen in that case. When I put back the penalties on here now and leave it all the way to the end of the race. So we still have Benjamin looking to get the win and keep that. We have Liverpool looking to get second place and is going to be able to keep it as well. Aiden here, 12 seconds of penalty, is not going to be able to keep that third place position. Paul will be able to take that away from him and switch it around. And Philip here, I guess he will be taking 5th. Of course, he might lose it to Aki though for a 3-second penalty that he has. We'll see how that's going to work out. The Ferrari is still trying to gain back this position here though, as he's still following on behind the Williams. That is Liverpool getting another penalty there right now. So now he is up to 11 seconds of penalties in this race. Aiden with 12, Paul still 3, Benjamin still 3 as it is. But they're both second and third still looking to finish where they are across the line. But looks like Paul will be able to still take away third place on the podium. We'll see how this is going to work out. We're into lap 26 here right about now. We're finishing up this race in the next few minutes and see who's going to be keeping a podium position here. I highly doubt Aiden's going to be able to get a 9-second gap against Paul here in the next 2.5 laps that we have remaining. As he's not really gaining much ground right now. Doesn't seem really that that's going to be possible. So we'll see what's going to happen. Try to have a look with Aki here right now and Philip Marshall. A pretty close gap between the two of them. It's about 7/10, so I'm not sure if he's catching up or not. Alright, so I think everyone has entered into lap 27 right about now. Gap is down to about 3/10 between these two, so this might be a bit of a change. He's trying to think about going on the inside, but rethinks that. He might try that again coming up on that back straight there. And Axe has spin, so not having the best of luck. So Aki spins around, loses the rear of the car, and he's going to try to get back going here right now. Has a car coming behind of it. I think that's Markham coming behind. And he's going to try to get ahead, possibly. Let's see if that's going to work out for him. Going back out front here, we got Liverpool 1.2 seconds behind. Aiden Bell now running 9 seconds behind them. Paul here with only a 3/10 gap as it is. So I think he's still trying to get back that position if he can. And the penalties continue to grow as we have it here right now. Liverpool up to 14 seconds of penalties. Running in second place, but still 14 seconds of penalties. It's going to keep him in second place as it is there right now. But Aiden here is definitely looking at losing out on the third place podium that he was hoping to get. As he's unable to build a gap against that Ferrari. So going to continue on this way into the final lap as we are here right about now and about to get across the line. Let's have a look where we are. Oh, we're into the final lap, so waiting for everyone to get through that. We're following with Benjamin on the final lap, possibly to see how that's going to go for him. So last chance here for Paul to possibly get back against ahead of Aiden and get across line P3 to keep it, but he will still be able to get it by default at the end of this race just because of the penalty situation as it is there right now. Aki looking to get ahead of Markham, back for 7, but I don't think that's happening. Ice One, I'm not sure what the situation is, if he's connected to this game still or not, or possibly disconnected. I highly I highly doubt I'm going to even be checking that. I'm not going to take the chance again. So we're going to keep it as it is here right now to finish off this race. Final lap as it is. We are on here right now. Still following on with Paul in the Ferrari and Aiden in the Williams in front of him. I think they're trying to just get across the line in the positions that they currently are on board right now. And let's see if there's any sort of closer gap. A 310 gap is what it is. Not sure if he's going to be able. Aiden is harvesting energy at the moment, so he might have a bit of an advantage. Possibly to try to get around in the final sector if he can. But doesn't look like that is going to be happening there. So as we have it there, going back out front, so Benjamin Cardiff here currently leading the race into the final lap. Started about 5 positions down from here and is about to finish this race, and with only a 3-second penalty is going to be able to actually keep the win for the race. So there he goes. Takes his time, gets across the line, and takes the win for the United States Grand Prix here for Tier 2, and not a bad finish. There's some significant points there for his team as well. Liverpool gets across the line, 2nd place on the podium so far, and actually Paul gets all the way up into 2nd. I was quite surprised by that. I think it's because of the amount of penalties that Liverpool accumulated before the final lap there. So Paul gets onto a 2nd place podium position here. Not a bad finish. Liverpool takes 3rd on the podium. He still finishes there, luckily enough for him. Aiden unfortunately has to finish down in 4th. Philip there still take 5th. We got Ice One currently taking 6th and seems to be okay so far. I'm not sure what was happening earlier on. And Aki there currently 7th. We got Markham here currently 8th. Super C there in 9th. And looks like Lunar Strike will have to finish this race and take 10th position on the grid. Looks like all 10 drivers will be getting points because it seems like Ice One is connected to his car. I'm not sure why he was trying to crash my system. But I'm not sure what's happening to him earlier on. But seems to be fine so far if that's the end of the race there. And we're going to have a look at the preliminary results before the stewards get involved with this. Driver of the day goes to Ice One. I think all of this gets taken away if he wasn't actually connected to that car. Not bad to see a Aston Martin driver on the podium. Alright, let's have a look at the final results on this one. Alright, so race winner right there. Benjamin Cardiff takes P1 there. Not a bad finish. Only a 3-second penalty, so could finish quite well. We got Paul taking 2nd place on the podium with him. Liverpool finishing 3rd on podium in the Alpine there, getting some significant points as well. Aiden Bell, currently the Drivers' Championship leader as it is, gets some more points in and finishes 4th on the grid. Philip Marshall takes 5th. We got Ice One finishing 6th for now. Aki finishing 7th. Markham in 8th. We got Super Seed in 9th and Lunar Strike in 10th. And that's it for drivers who finish the race. We're not going to go to the rest as no one else actually was able to finish the race. So half of the grid finishing, not overly bad. And I think that's going to be it here for this session, guys. So thanks to everyone who joined on to the live stream here with us, whether it was Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. Thanks for you guys for joining on. Please, guys, make sure you're following us on Twitch and make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel and make sure you leave a like on the video. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys on the next stream, which will be on Sunday evening at 9 p.m. British time. That'll be 4 p.m. Eastern.